Alright, so in this video we're gonna do sort of a live coding thing. So we're gonna try to duplicate this layout that has a header and image, some info, the ingredients with the weird nav on the side, some instructions, and then the footer. Okay, and we're gonna do this to illustrate how to go about creating a website all the way from scratch, from zero to done. And I apologize, I am really sick, and so I have a headache and I'm sneezing and all that stuff. So I apologize if I get to do any of these on this recording. This is based on Joshua's wireframe. All right. So the most important thing to note is that as designers, you do need a wireframe because it's gonna guide your process. Without a wireframe, you go to the program, you start coding, and you're gonna waste a lot of time. Now, to speed up the process, what I did, and by the way, I'm gonna be using CodePen for speed purposes. That way, I don't have to set documents and everything. CodePen is a tool that allows you to code without having to set the document, the CSS. Everything is included here. You can use it. This section contains the HTML, and in this section we're gonna put the CSS once we get to that point. Now the only thing to notice here is that on this section, the HTML, you are not going to put anything except what goes in the body. So if you notice here, I don't have the head, document type declaration, the title, anything, just the body. Once I'm done, I can export, and it'll create a zip file that has all the rest of the HTML with them, including the CSS external file and everything. Anyway, all right. So what I did to kind of help me along right now is I already marked up the functional tags. So let's revise them. So at this point, I am not concerned with how it's gonna look. Okay, I'm structuring my content. That's what we learned on week 1. And that's why I said it was so important that you have no concern for how it's going to look at the beginning. So the H1 is this one, the recipe. Then I have an image of salmon. Then there's a history. There's 2 paragraphs with just a placeholder text, lorem ipsum. We have what's going to become the navigation right here. And then we have the ingredients, the instructions, and then there is a footer. Okay, so that is consistent with the contents that we have right here. So with that sorry, so with that in mind, now we're gonna do the markup. Again, at this point, I'm zero concerned on how it's gonna look. I'm structuring my content. So I'm gonna put a header right here. So instead of using a div header, I can use a header. There's no reason for me to use divs at this point. We might need divs once we start working on the CSS. Now, the way I'm gonna go about it, the rest of the stuff is gonna be part of the main. So I'm gonna make this the main. So main goes here, and it goes all the way to where the footer is going to be. So all the way here. So I close it. And then I'm gonna put the footer right here, and I close the footer. All right, so now we have a solid structure. Now we're gonna go inside the main and further organize this. So let me see. So here on the main, I'm going to make this the image. So it's gonna be a section, and that goes together with the history. So let me see. All the way right here. So that's a section. Okay, then I'm going to make the nav also. Well, this is actually going to be the nav. So nav, navigation goes all the way to here. And then I have the ingredients, which is going to be also a section here. Okay, so section, and I just noticed that I made these instructions an H3. It's not an H3, it's an H2. So very good. Got corrected, which is gonna be another section. So section. All right. So now it seems like I do have a solid structure here on my recipe. Let's review. I have a header. I have a main. Inside my main, I have the section that goes all the way here. I have my nav. I have another section, and I have the last section, which is the instructions, and then the main clauses, and I have my footer. So everything is pretty well structured. Notice that up to now, I have not had to worry about any of the formatting. I'm concerned with creating a solid structure. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna move to the CSS, and I'm of course gonna make a little bit of basic formatting just to see where my different areas are. So I'm just gonna play with the backgrounds. I'm not gonna get into a lot of formatting, by the way, just so you can see the difference between the different areas. So I'm gonna apply a formatting to the header and footer. Just let's see, let's do background, my traditional blue 589, and let's see, and let's add padding. That's always bothers me. So 10 pixels should be fine. All right. So now we have that there and there on the bottom. Okay, we're good. Now let's do. So we have the footer. Now let's do the sections, and I can use classes, but I'm just gonna use end of type. I can say class section. I can do something like this. That section -1, that's a class, okay. And but then I have to go. Well, let's do it. So background pound. Let's use a light shade of gray. So maybe DDD, that should be fine. Okay. Now I have to go to my HTML and go to one of the sections here, and let's see, this one. So I have to do this class equals section -1. All right. Let's look at it, and here it is. You know, however, I do a lot of coding a different way. So let me actually go here. By the way, there's nothing wrong with using classes. Okay, so you find this easier, go for it. I'm just gonna code it the way I usually do it. So section, I'm gonna say end of type, and I'm gonna say 1. Okay, background and DDD, and then should have the same result. So we're good. Now I'm gonna do padding. No, actually, let's apply the padding to all of them together. So section and the nav. Yeah, right now it's fine. So I'm gonna say padding, and I'm gonna do 10 pixels on each. Okay, so it looks a little bit better. Now that's applied to the nav and the padding. Now I'm gonna copy this, Control C. Let's see, we have section 2 and section 3, I think. So section 2. It's gonna be 999. There you go. And that's the UL, and that's the nav. So let me do the nav here. So for right now, just so we can see them. So nav. Let's do an orange on the nav. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, yellow. All right, all I'm doing is just adding a little bit of color so we can see the different sections. All right. Okay, so now to the layout work. So the first thing we need to notice about this is that the header and the main and the footer are aligned sequentially. So they're in order already. So I don't need to do anything. In this case, for this layout, where I need to apply the grid is actually inside the main, because these are the ones that need laid out. All right. So what I mean by that is this. So let me go here. Let me go back. Go back to my layout here. Okay. So in this case, let me actually make a comment here, and let's do this. So we're gonna say grid work. It's gonna start right here. Here we're going to make the magic of the grid work. So we set the main as the display grid because the elements are inside. All right, so let's build our template. So grid template. Now this is gonna be, let's look at the at the layout here. All right, so here I can tell that this is 2 columns because we have this one and then we have this one. However, the nav is only using a section of here, so technically I can see that this layout is gonna be better working in 3 columns. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And I'm using a column of 12, so it's going to be 4 frames because 4 times 3 is 12, so 4 fractions. So that's right there. Okay, I'm going to set the grid template rows to auto. That means that I don't have to control the height because it's controlled by the content. Now the grid template areas. Okay, so we're gonna set this up. All right, so since we're dealing with 3, let's look at what we have here. And history, I'm gonna call the first one history. Okay, so history is gonna go there 3 times because it's gonna use the top. So that's the picture and the paragraph that goes with the picture. All right, so let's look at it again. The second one, the ingredients, is gonna use 2 and then the nav. All right, so let's do what do we say? Sorry. Okay, so ingredients. Okay, ingredients, and then the nav is gonna use the next one. And we go here, we have instructions, and then the nav is gonna use the other one. All right, so let's see. Instructions and nav. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and align them just because, so you don't have to do this. Remember, just want to make sure that you can actually see how this makes sense. If it was a table, this is how it will look. So there's 3 rows. First one is history, ingredients, and the nav, and then instructions. That's the layout that is right here. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back here and we're gonna name our different areas. So history is 1. Let's see, so we have the section, the first section inside the main. Okay, so this is the one, and actually I'm gonna target them better. So I'm gonna say main section enough time, and this is gonna be grid area, and this is gonna be history. Okay, and strange things are gonna start happening right now because we're doing this thing here, but it already aligned. All right, so let's see, let's look at what we have. We can of course do the nav. So let's see, I'm sorry, CSS. All right, let's look for the nav here. Here is the nav. So grid area, it's gonna be grid dash area, it's gonna be nav. Okay, and I'm also going to, just in case I don't need to do this one, but you know, just in case, the nav inside the main. All right, let's look at the thing again. We have that one. Now we need ingredients. I'm just gonna copy this. Control C. Which ingredients should be the second section? So let me see. Ingredients is this one. So let me see. Yeah, I'm just realizing I don't really need this section for the thing. So let me, because it's the nav. Oh, I don't have it. Okay, so my bad. So it's nav. Okay, that's closing the other one. All right, so let me see. So history is the first one, then ingredients will be the second section. See, in this case, I'm getting a little bit confused, so it might be a good idea to use classes. You know, if you name it ingredients and all that, then you can easily find it. But you know, it's just a preference. So grid area, it's gonna be ingredients. Oh, I have it. I copied it, didn't I? There you go. All right, and the let me see, the third one, which I didn't do right this thing here, is the instructions. So let's see, grid area, instructions. Okay. All right, so now we can take a look at how it's looking, and here's the layout.
So I will still need to flow that picture, but this is the history, ingredients, instructions, and the nav here. Of course, I'm not going to format the nav. Here's the footer. Okay, so the last thing we have to do here is flow the picture. So let's go ahead and do that. We might also need to reduce the size of that picture. So let's see. Let me go here. And let's look at the thing. Okay, so section, end of type. Okay, image, very good. I'm just gonna use a class for this. Class equals floated big. Like I say, all right. So create some space here so they can run together. Okay, very good. So now I can go here to my code. And I'm gonna do it outside the grid work. So floated pig. Okay. So I'm gonna say float left, right, and I'm gonna also control the size a little bit. That's too big. So I'm gonna control the width, and I'm gonna say let's try 400 pixels. See how that looks. All right. Yeah, it looks okay. Again, for a bigger. Let's take it down to 300 maybe. Will be better. Yeah, better. And we can add a little bit of margin to the right. Let's do 15 pixels. There you go. So it looks much better. Anyway, so here's the layout. Now in this case, of course, if let me check it at a bigger size, make sure there's no issues. I might need to use remember the clear fix if these things start running into it, but it shouldn't. Then you apply the clear fix to the parent of the image, which will be the main right here. So you go get the clear fix from w3schools.com, and then you add it here. So class equals I think called clear fix. Yeah, so that's it. This case I don't really need it at this point, but anyway. So that's how this thing works. Like I say, it's nothing really difficult at all. That's the layout. Let's compare it to what we have here, and that is exactly how you go from 0 to something. Now, this is what I want to stress. What you have been learning since week 1. There is a reason for this. I don't actually have anything that will be like extra, and you should not forget what you learned the previous week, because most of the times the problem is, number one, that you're working without a sketch, without a wireframe. If you're doing video, you need a storyboard. You always need to do your design on paper before you jump into the computer. That's called development time. Development is very difficult, and well, it's the most expensive part of the process. And if you don't have any idea of what you're doing ahead of time, you're gonna spend more time. You're gonna be frustrated. It's like trying to make a house without a blueprint. All right. Second thing, at the beginning, when you're working on your HTML, structure your HTML. There is a reason why we do that. Now, in this case, we didn't need any divs. Did you notice that? Now, if I want to control the width of this, and I'm gonna do this because so let's say I don't want that to be the whole width of the page. In this case, I need a div. Okay, I'm gonna use an ID, something very commonly used, and I'm gonna use a wrapper. Okay, and then I'm gonna enclose everything. Actually, let's say that I only want to wrap this, not the header and the footer. Okay, so let's make it a little bit more interesting. Let's say I don't want to do that. I only want to wrap the main. So I'm gonna put the wrapper right there, and then I'm gonna go after the main, and I'm gonna close the div. Okay. So now let's go to the CSS. Okay, and I'm gonna pound wrapper here, and I'm gonna set the width to, let's say, 85%. Just that's what comes to mind. Okay, and then let's do the margin auto so it can be centered. There you go. Okay, now not the best layout. I don't really like it. Probably better to do it on the whole thing. So let's fix that. Yeah, kind of. I didn't like it at the end. So let's move the footer inside. Might look better. Let's go to the top, and move the wrapper. Control X. Let's put it back there. All right. And there it is. So yeah, looks better like that. But anyway, now you might be asking, okay, so you're using a div ID, you're using a div right now. The reason I'm using a div is because I need it for CSS purposes, but I don't need that div to structure my content. Now, when you go online and you look at tutorials, you're gonna see that a lot of people are using divs, div ID content. That can be replaced by main. Div ID navigation or div ID nav, that can be and should be replaced by nav. So whenever you can, use the semantic tags to structure your content, and the divs are only to be used when you need to do something for CSS. That's how this thing works. All right, guys, I expanded a lot already. I hope this is helpful, and that's it. I'm signing out, and I guess go and have some chicken soup. It's good for the soul, and I'm really have I have a 101 degrees right now, so I think I'm gonna also go on. Sorry, like I say, I'm not feeling myself. Okay, guys, I'm signing out.